In the last chapter of the Book of Unwritten Tales.
What is the matter with you? Why don't you turn around?
Why don't you turn around?
Why don't you turn around first?
The company of that human is not good for you. That is why I told him to go away.
Mm-hmm.
You did what?
What have you?
Well, I can explain.
Not necessary.
Did you just magic her? And now,
Bob is still sitting where I left him months ago.
Bob.
Of course, he's not really called Bob, but his elven name is too complicated and long to remember. And he likes Bob.
Okay, I was wondering why you were calling him Bob. I know that definitely didn't sound elven.
Hey, Bob.
Nate, my boy, what are you doing here?
Well, we brought Ivo back.
I rescued Ivo from Tugator, the flying pirate island, and brought her back here, more or less.
Oh, so
Right.
you're getting on well again.
It's too late for that. Trust me.
It is never too late for that. Trust me.
I'll go with Bob. No offense, Nate. So your wife has bewitched Ivo and taken Critter prisoner.
Your wife has hexed Ivo and imprisoned Critter. I'll free both of them, and
I would counsel you to patience, my impetuous friend. What has happened?
The Queen found Ivo in the garden. She's pregnant. Did you know that?
I hope that you are speaking of Ivo and not my wife. Of course I knew.
I mean, who knows?
She's put Ivo into a kind of deep sleep.
Theodora knows wise decisions take time. It isn't a simple sleep. It's a kind of time out. For Ivo, time is standing still until her mother brings her back.
And when will that be?
As soon as she knows how she's going to deal with the situation. That could take months, or even years.
Years? She's got no right to do that. We have to bring Ivo back.
Just like the polecat butters the bread of the barn owl.
Right. I didn't understand what you meant by polecats and butter and barn owls, but, you know, how do we wake her up?
How can we wake Ivo up?
Without the help of her mother, impossible.
Then we'll have to force her. She can't keep Ivo imprisoned against her will.
You won't have any luck. Fiora will defend her daughter. She thinks she's doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But if you can make her see that she was not acting in Ivo's best interests, then I'm sure she would let her go.
Oh, that's simple. That's...
I should talk to her?
Oh, you'd be dead before you'd stuttered out your first sentence.
Don't sound so
Hey.
happy about it. So the Queen never told her what she did she?
I eavesdropped on the Queen. She never told Ivo what happened, right?
What happened? You just disappeared one night.
No.
It was all your wife's fault. She hexed me. I was going to propose to Ivo. The Queen intercepted me and whispered something in my ear.
Her words would have just washed over you had they not found something which they were able to catch hold of.
I thought long and hard about whether I should propose to Ivo. I loved her, but I also loved my freedom.
Gods and the wise call that getting cold feet.
So she could manipulate me because of my feet?
She magnified your doubts and let you lose sight of what was really important, your love for Ivo.
But I didn't want her to have to watch me die. And I certainly didn't want her to come with me out into the world and grow old and die herself.
Would it have not been up to my daughter what sacrifices she would be willing to make for you? She is, after all, the more intelligent one.
Marginally. So, this is why we left.
After I left the Elfborough, my head still told me I'd done the right thing. I wouldn't condemn Ivo to a life with me, and a goodbye would have been too painful for both of us.
But your heart told you that you were a fool.
Later, I thought I'd found a solution. I'd find a way to live forever. Then I could marry Ivo and we'd never be separated.
Your heart was right. You are a fool.
So listen, there's big problems with the world.
Well, Archmage Alistair's been turned into a frog. By a certain Van Buren, some little brat who's running through Seastone and transforming everything.
A little girl transformed the Archmage.
With the help of a powerful
Yes.
wand.
No idea how she managed it. Ivo said something about Wilbur's wand. And he's in the Dark Woods looking for a book that explains how it can be destroyed. In the meantime, Ivo wanted to organize a few things needed to bring the Archmage back.
What sort of things?
Some book from Lorem Ipsum.
The Book of the Dead?
Yep, that was the one. Then we need a compass that belongs to the Red Pirate, and something called the Spark of Life. That's why she came back here.
I see. It's crucial we turn Alistair back quickly. He might have answers.
Yes, and if we don't do it quickly, he might never get back.
Answers? To which questions?
Something is stirring. A great evil. I have felt it for a while now.
The little brat with the wand?
No. Something older, greater, and a great danger for you, for Ivo, for everyone.
That doesn't sound good. But I wouldn't even know where to start. Ivo didn't tell me very much. Or perhaps I didn't listen.
I have the spark of life here. I will give it to my daughter as soon as she wakes.
Hopefully it's soon
I
enough.
can't help you with the compass, though. But I saw the lost city of Lorem Ipsum with my own eyes, long, long ago.
So you can give directions? I do hope, as funny as this sounds, that the great evil is the nameless one, because I have objections to calling Munkus a great dark evil.
If I were to look for Lorem Ipsum, where would I find the ruins of the city?
Under the sands of the Umzu Desert.
Oh, really? Could you be a bit more precise? The desert's pretty big.
I can't remember the exact location. I set out from the Bremen oasis, went into the desert, and just followed my nose.
How long ago was this?
After a few days, I saw the golden roofs of the town glinting in the sun as it set behind them.
So Lorem Ipsum is west of Bremen. But how far into the desert? How many days did you walk, and how quickly?
It was 3,500 years ago.
That's a long time.
What did you do last Thursday?
West of Bremen. That's a start.
The whole place could have been completely obscured by sandstorms in that amount of time. So, you were aware your daughter is pregnant then?
Ivo seems to have coped well with me leaving her. Seems to have been in a rush to find herself an elven prince.
No, she didn't take it well. She was hurt and disappointed. And no, she didn't throw herself around the neck of any elf prince.
I don't even want to know. I'd always loved her, but it seems to have been quite one-sided.
Now, Nate, come on. How am I going to get you two together if you won't stop only thinking about yourself? Right? It's the point of love, isn't it? Can you help us free Critter?
Your wife trapped Critter in the garden. Some thorny tendrils grew out of the ground, imprisoning him.
Oh, an old trick that all priests have up their sleeve.
So novices couldn't sneak out of rituals early, eh?
But the tendrils are very ticklish, especially under the arms.
They... all right, then.
But aren't they all arm? I don't know of any part of that wouldn't be arm when we're talking about tentacles or tendrils or whatever. So, can you read these words here?
I found this text about Lorem Ipsum.
Oh, the book we
written in a
found.
foreign
Gotcha.
language.
I don't understand that language. I only understand the language of nature.
Great.
And English for some strange reason.
Well, that's because of the localization
Bob.
magic.
I'll see what I can do to help Ivo and Alistair. Or, if I can.
I see a man with a mission of great importance that he would like to complete.
Like? All that work? All that danger? The stress? You've got the same attitudes towards stress as I have.
I can see through you, Nate. You made your decision long ago. You just haven't realized it. To do good. Be part of something bigger. Help others. We all need goals in our lives. And the greater the goal, the greater the reward.
I don't know what you're talking about, old man.
But I like it. Or something to that effect. Look at the tree. Isn't it lovely? I mean, you don't have to walk all the way
tree
over
is
there to do it.
legendary. I knew of it long before I met Ivo. The Tree of Life, as it's called, is attributed all kinds of powers. I was a little bit disappointed when I saw it for the first time. To me, it looks like a completely normal, tall tree.
Taller than some, shorter than others. Okay, so that's... Oh, even though the thing isn't here, we can still just look at it.
Not many mortals have seen the Tree of Life, and those that have were crowned heads or wise men.
Except for you.
I've even sat in its shade next to the king and shared 1 or 2 bottles of apple wine with him. I mean, with the king.
I mean, that's something. Guess that's all.
Bob needs his sleep. I'm only supposed to disturb him if there's something new to report.
Gotcha. So that's that. What do we do? We haven't really gained much of anything except a vague description of where Lorem Ipsum is. We can free critter, I guess.
Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Where's the laughter coming from?
No problem. Now you go and wait on the Mary, okay?
Exactly. My sentiments. Completely, critter. Alright, I guess we try to go back up to where they're at. Anything new?
I wonder whether... Here.
Oh, apparently so.
That's what I was looking for.
What? What's what you were looking for? A translation?
The book describes what the symbols mean.
Oh.
The first one is... a kind of angular stone?
Gem?
Gemstones. Jewels.
There?
That's a promising start.
And
The second
a
symbol...
mountain with kind of a wavy thing. Desert?
Desert. Yeah, makes sense. The city is somewhere in the Umzu
The
Desert.
jewel of the desert? Foot?
Feet? What have feet got to do with it?
No.
Can you only reach the city by
Singular foot.
foot?
One.
Next symbol,
Is a 4-fingered hand? 3?
3. 3 feet. That's unusual. Perhaps the last symbol will make it
Maybe
clear.
it's red right to left. Where is that? Mountain.
Mountains. Jewels, desert, mountains. The jewel of the desert at the foot of the 3 mountains.
Okay.
That's it. Lorem Ipsum. The city with roofs of gold is the jewel of the desert, and it lies at the foot of 3 mountains.
And it's west of the town that...
And these 3 mountains must be west of Bremen.
That one.
That should be easy to find.
Perhaps? Can we use the hat then?
The top hat might have been a present from a kobold.
Okay, so no. And all we can do is turn the sword stand. Let's go back up and see what is going on.
What I'd really like to do is go up there, give the old boot a slap round the face, and get Ivo out of this place. But Ivo's mother is a powerful priestess. She's probably got a dozen ways she could incapacitate me without me even noticing. I have to be careful.
Oh, I thought you were going to refuse to go up there. So we can look at things. Hello, Cheep Cheep.
Cheep Cheep, Ivo's bird. We don't get along. He's a puffed up rooster, and he says the same of me.
Sounds like you two have a lot in common.
It was his job to keep me away from Ivo. He made that more than clear any time I got close. I wish he'd done the same after I left.
I also wish that Bob had informed Nate that this was magically induced, because he's fairly certain it's not his doing.
Ivo's mirror. When I was here, her fat bird sat in front of it most of the time.
After you left, too.
The Oracle on Tugador can look through all reflective surfaces. This is going to be a real feast for him. He loves drama.
I gathered that.
When we found out how the Oracle knew so much about the world, we had a laugh sitting on mirrors with our trousers down. We had to stop doing it when he started making intentionally wrong prophecies. The Oracle on Tugador is...
Repeating.
Why did she suddenly put Ivo to sleep? Did Ivo keep the fact that she's pregnant secret even from her parents?
Well, from one of them.
Could that even be the reason that she left Elfborough?
Part of it, yes. She wanted to find out what was going on.
Bob said that only she can wake Ivo up, and no one can force her. I have to convince her that she's not acting in Ivo's best interest. She doesn't want to damage her daughter or cause her unnecessary pain.
One would hope.
Bob said that only she can wake Ivo up.
Okay.
Maybe I can lure the queen onto the balcony, grab Ivo, and...
Sounds like a bad idea.
No. Where would we go?
Okay.
It looks like she's asleep. But her father said it's more than just sleep. Time's standing still for her.
Yeah, she's also got blue inside her mouth. So did the magic turn her tongue blue or something, or is that just a glitch?
Her mother could leave her in this state for months, or even years. I have to wake her up. She doesn't deserve this, despite everything that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like she's asleep. But her father's...
Okay. So, nothing really to accomplish here. Nothing to say? Let's go see what Critter's doing. Yeah, it's a hippogriff. That actually looks like a hippo. Yeah, sure. You got anything in your inventory? What was this? Oh yeah, that was the color of your critter. I want to turn him back red. So this is probably just useless. Okay. Yeah, Nate. I know. Rope. Throw it overboard. Put it down here. Alright, never mind.
Hello, Critter. Everything okay with you and Captain Nate?
In a way.
That's good. You just look after him for me, won't you? It always worries me when he tries to act the hero.
Probably with reason. Yeah, it will burn you, for sure. A box? Am I actually beginning to understand a Critter? That's a scary thought. Didn't get that, though. Okay, well, apparently Critter has nothing to do. Perhaps we should go back and talk to Mary. She could have something going on. Oh, we didn't look at some of the stuff Nate got. We didn't look at the thread.
A ball of sturdy string. A couple of feet should do.
For what? What are we trying to tie up? We doing something with these things? Nate's just walking around like a madman. Still the same thing. Oh, can we make a fishing rod?
A fishing rod? Nah, too obvious.
Well, you know, can we make a phone?
I remember that from my childhood. You connect the cans with a string and can talk to someone across several meters. Just like you could without the cans.
Right. Homemade telephone.
You can hear in one can what someone else says into the other can. It's a distance communicator.
I don't know why we need that.
Lorem ipsum, the jewel of the desert at the foot of the three mountains. And I know from Ivo's father that the city must be somewhere west of Bremen. I should actually be able to locate its position on a map.
Is that why we're here? I mean, there is a map. What do you think, Critter?
Hey, Critter.
You take over here. Is that going to switch us?
You take over for a bit. I've got some thinking to do.
Yep, that seems to have been the deal.
All right, then.
Okay, west of Bremen, at the foot of three mountains. This looks like desert down here. Is that it? We don't see Bremen. I don't recognize these names. Is this another language? Mortroga's Fest? Is this Mortroga's Fort? I kind of recognize this. This is Seastone, right? Back. Fly to the Elf Burrow. Okay, so here's where we are. So there's interactables. Can I do... Ah, that helps. Didn't realize. White Ridge Mountains.
Wilbur comes from around there. Mainly just dwarves and gnomes live there. The White Ridge Mountains are too cold for humans.
Well, I mean, unless you bundle up.
Wilbur comes from mainly...
Okay. And...
I met Critter in the Northlands. Nice people up there. Penguins, mainly.
And apparently critters.
I met Critter in the
so
nice...
Just one thing. Why has it still got the spy glasses then?
After everything Ivo told me, Seastone is a no-go at the moment.
What language is this, I wonder?
That we're not seen there without the Archmage. His human version, I mean.
Right. Okay, there's interactable there.
The wildlands aren't that wild anymore since the Earth Gnomes took over the Archwitch's tower. But there's still a lot of evil vermin lurking around in the surrounding countries.
And among us.
That's the desert where Lorem Ipsum must be.
Oh, this is the desert.
Wait
Well, there's
a minute.
Bremen.
I must have a more detailed map of the area somewhere here.
Oh, cool. There's Bremen.
That's the old oasis of Bremen. It was already there at the time of Lorem Ipsum. Today it's a pretty little town.
So what is this? Oh, Tugator. Okay, never mind. And it's west, so this way. I guess this is the Three Mountains?
3 mountains west of Bremen. I bet Critter's next meal that the jewel of the desert is at the foot of these mountains. I'll mark the place on the big map.
Well, that was a lot less involved than I thought, but what good does that do us if we've not got Ivo? Oh, are we supposed to just go and do this without her? I wonder.
There hasn't been an airship visiting Lorem Ipsum for centuries, perhaps millennia, if ever. Time to pay a call to the old city.
Apparently so. Either that or it's just letting me waste my
That
time.
must be it. Lorem Ipsum. And it looks like someone has already dug it up for us.
Is that Mortimer? The little mummy that was in MacGuffin's sarcophagus? It certainly appears so. It's going to be cool if this is Mortimer. I really liked him. He was hilarious.
Mummy with a small spade. I wonder.
Mortimer.
It is!
No, I'm Nate. That's Critter.
How did you get here?
I seek Mortimer.
Here? Under the sand?
Why aren't you Mortimer?
I, don't know.
So how did you get here? Is MacGuffin around? Did he just leave you here? Or did something happen and he had you exploring this ruin with him? Anyway, Nate's never met you.
Who are you?
I am... Isn't the question more, who are you?
No.
I'm Nate, like I already said.
So you are neither Mortimer nor that elf who was pretending to be Mortimer.
Right.
That... Yes, I can confirm that.
So many people. I can't possibly remember all these names. I will call you... Nate.
I can live with that.
I will be very surprised if you can remember Nate.
Who is this Mortimer you're looking for?
Mortimer fetched me out of the darkness many years ago. I lived with him until he disappeared.
And now you're looking for him here?
Looking for whom?
That Mortimer.
You've seen him. I've been looking for him everywhere.
So, did you wander out of the house when he was captured? He should be back there now. How did you get this far? So many questions.
Don't tell me you dug this huge hole.
All right.
I mean, why did you dig it?
I'm not meant to say.
You can tell me. What's the hole all about?
Right, we're friends after all.
Yes, about that. Why did you dig it?
I didn't. You did.
Of course. I wanted to go home.
Is that here?
So you're from Lorem Ipsum.
Yes. It must be here somewhere.
I think it's all around us.
Have you had a look around?
Ah! Lorem Ipsum! What a coincidence! I was born here, you know.
Could that have been 3,500 years ago, when the Elf King was visiting? So what can you tell us about Lorem Ipsum? Guessing not much.
What can you tell me about Lorem Ipsum? What was life here like?
Oh, wonderful. We've always had good weather. We built the most beautiful temples with the most fiendish traps.
That sounds lovely.
Sold them all around the world and made a lot of money from that.
You sold temples with built-in traps?
Of course. Walls that suddenly come together and squash any intruder. Invented here in Lorem Ipsum. We had breeding programs for scorpions and tarantulas. And we issued a 3,000-year guarantee for our traps.
That means your traps could still work today?
Traps? What traps?
So, have you ever heard of this book I'm looking for?
I'm looking for a book.
I've seen one lying on Mortimer's desk.
I'm looking for a particular book. The Book of the Dead.
Oh, but that's just a legend. That book apparently explains how one can bestow everlasting life on people by wrapping them up in gauze bandages.
Assuming it wasn't a legend, where would the Book of the Dead be hidden?
Ah, the Book of the Dead. Some say it is mere legend, but I have seen it many times. It was put into the tomb of the last pharaoh of Lorem Ipsum, the mad Tut-Tut.
Okay. In a roundabout way, we seem to be getting somewhere. The where that somewhere is, I haven't the foggiest. Where is this tomb?
And this Tut-Tut, where is he buried?
He is lying under a mighty pyramid, just like that one over there.
Could it be that one?
Actually, now that I think about it, It's exactly like the one over there.
How wonderful.
What do you think? Why would someone put a pyramid here that looks exactly the same as Tut-Tut's?
I can think of one reason.
How do you get into Tut-Tut's pyramid?
Who is Tut-Tut? And what's this pyramid you're talking about?
Ah, forget it.
What should I forget?
Everything, apparently. It's kind of hit or miss how far along a thread of thought Mortimer's able to go before he loses himself entirely.